All right, so give the introduction. This is the third session of Spectaculars with Gauntlet Games. I'm Michael Matthews. I'll be GMing. This is Spectaculars from Scratchpad Publishing, which is not technically released as of yet, but Kickstarters have got it. As always, the Gauntlet inclusivity policy is in effect, including X card if we need to stop, either by just in the window or typing it into the chat on Roll20 at least makes the beeping sound. So it's probably a better place to put it than uh, the Zoom chat. But if we want to go down, say um, Mike, Xander, and then Steven, introduce ourselves, and then we'll be able to jump into the first part of today.
All right, so my name is Mike. I'm playing the character Halopoint, whose birth name is Celeste Sonata. Her game archetype is the warrior, and she is her civilian profession is a small business owner. Her main power is an energy field that she surrounds herself with that gives her super toughness, an energy strike that's strictly hand-to-hand combat range, and a power reservoir.
Hello, I'm Xander. I'll be playing Susan Cantrell, also known as the Tranquility. She is a former vigilante, currently a social worker, kind of embedded in the heart of the community there. The government treatments kind of crystallized her body. It's not visible from the outside, but just at a cellular level, her body works differently as each cell's been crystallized, allowing her to have that elastic anatomy. It can also store and emit light as laser generations, and she's picked up a little bit of telepathy there as well.
And I'm Steven, he, him. I'm playing Charlie Walk, also he, him, who is called Spyne. That's spelled S-P-Y with an umlaut W-N. He is a Celtic heavy metal rock star and also a superhero. He uses the name Spyne for both. His powers include electricity manipulation, flight, and he's really tough. Plus, he has a really cool looking costume.
The big antler headdress that sometimes you show up with. Okay, so in our last session, we had the players ended up, instead of stopping the bank robbers, they actually helped them escape with a good portion of the money, and they were given a crate of 10 to take among the community, which was really good because Xander, or rather, Susan Cantrell, Tranquility, burned out her own microchip, so she is now effectively off grid, and so getting 10 will become a little bit of a problem, but she got a big bunch of it. Because there's others we talked about a little bit before recording started, no one knows exactly what happens with the children of them, so there's going to be some black market ways of getting them, and actually part of your turmoil for Tranquility makes it seem like you're in a good position to get a hold of those things because you do stuff on the side to help folks. So we're going to start with often you begin with the turmoil or aspiration scenes. If we had the full complement, what I would probably do is do one or two at the beginning and then space some of the rest of them out, so it's not a whole bunch of them. But since it's the three of us, let's begin with Spyne. What are the things in the way of you becoming this this Celtic heavy metal rock star that you are wanting and working at becoming?
Well, one of the big problems is that I can't get people to take me seriously. They look at me as just kind of this screw up kid, and they don't see my talent.
Okay. A note here.
I mean, right now I'm being slammed on social media because tweeted out this selfie I took with Timberwolf,
Uh-huh.
and the cops showed up because of it, and people are making fun of me online.
Yeah, yeah, do we want to go with the thing that a lot of people in the Niner ghetto kind of look at what Gamma Squad did as being like heroic and you screwed up, or do we have an idea with how we want to go as far as how other people see that?
I think a lot of people are probably sympathetic to Gamma Squad,
Hmm.
and other people just think they're criminals, but they both think I screwed up
Yeah,
because they got away.
yeah, that, and you probably also brought some extra the cops and the patent teams in, which generally people are not fond of seeing. Um, so you are. Let us come up with a name of a club that you perform at. Like a, probably in or near the Niner ghetto. What's anybody want to come up with the name of a club there that plays live music?
Murray's,
Okay, so
and it's one of the few clubs that I can perform at because I'm underage.
okay. Funnily enough, so I do stand up comedy, and we've actually have someone who is 17 years old who has started coming in and doing some stand up. So
Yeah, but there are a lot of clubs that I just can't play at because
mhm.
you have to be over 21 to even to be on stage. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've done a few places where they actually will have to have the person wait outside to just come in for their gig and then have to leave. But yeah, this is a place where you've got a kind of a mix of ages. There is drinking stuff. Murray himself is Murray is a vet. Murray has kind of been around as long as the ghettos, the Niner ghetto's been here. Often kind of takes a good look at stuff. So as you come in, you've got a gig that night. Do you have a name of the band, or is Spyne the name you go by?
Spyne is the name of the band. At the moment, I'm the only member.
Okay.
My drummer quit a couple weeks ago because I mean we weren't actually making a whole lot of money, so he just joined this other band. So I'm basically it's electric. It's electric guitar and lots of amplifiers.
Okay. So yeah, as you're kind of hauling your stuff in, Murray just sort of looks up and sees you and goes, "Oh, kid. I don't know how many people are going to show up tonight. You pissed a lot of the wrong people off."
It's I mean I had no idea the cops would even see that tweet. It was
Did you ever hear in school that you want to make sure you don't post anything online that you wouldn't want to see, like in a job interview or something? People see stuff.
yeah, but I mean that's the whole point. Timberwolf is cool. It's like you take a selfie with cool people so that you'll look cool.
You know what cool people
And
don't
I mean,
do?
it was a mistake. It was a mistake. I get that, but
Listen, you're
the
young.
the selfie itself wasn't a problem. It was the cops that were the problem, and I should not have posted it. At least not until Timberwolf was somewhere else. Yeah, I get that. I get I screwed up.
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice, kid. You know what cool people don't do? They don't wonder about what's gonna make them cool. They don't. They just are cool. Set up there. I would say like the regulars kind of start coming in. You can kind of see a look. There's some people glaring at you. You're fairly sure because you helped the Gamma Squad was able to escape, possibly partly because of that, and that means that not only does that look worse for the Niners to a lot of people, but It also means there's been more cops, and there's some who believe that Gamma Squad was in the right, and they're a little pissed about that. But the thing you got that a lot of other people don't, got your plan. So as you get up there with these people just sort of staring you down, there's not a ton of them so far. You see people kind of walking by that they're not necessarily coming in. A few look at one of the posters outside, see your name on it, and just some roll their eyes, keep going. Some just kind of give a look. Others don't pay any attention at all. What do you do to try to win the crowd?
Well, I mean, I've got this. I got this big prop on this stage. It's like this 8-foot Stonehenge. I mean, I watched Spinal Tap. I learned from that movie. It's you want to make it full size, and yeah, and I'm just sort of before my set officially starts. I'm just sort of strumming the guitar a bit, giving a little soft background music, which is, I mean, soft in the I'm not blasting their eardrums out.
Not destroying you.
Time for that later.
Okay. So as you go, so let's say is probably make a roll to see what the crowd will think here. You've got your performing, which is 90% because you were very good at it. However, go ahead and take 2 complication dice.
Okay, that's an 84 with 2 complications.
Okay. I'm going to use some of the complication stuff a little bit later. I'm going to use that to throw in another complication a bit later on something. Yeah, so you succeed. The show actually goes relatively well. Even the people there who might not necessarily have liked you so much were at the very least kind of brought over because the one thing you do good is you can sing, you can perform. Go ahead, give yourself a on the character sheet. There's a thing down there that's got like your like story rewards or story progress. I think I already put 1x in there just for the issue of last session. If you want to put 1 in that next box, so if you succeed on that one, you get another one. Once you put 1 in the one with the story reward, you get essentially like a kind of an advance. And so Tranquility again. Your turmoil or an aspiration were which again? That was the turmoil is people coming and talking to you about all the stuff that's kind of going on in the city, and you help out here and there. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yes. Yeah. So under my archetype for my vulnerability, I said I have dependence, that being, the people for whom I am a social worker, and then I'm doubling down on that with my turmoil, saying that a lot of people beyond them, just a lot of people in the community, come to me when they're in hot water.
Mm-hmm. And people trust you that are there. And then what was your aspiration?
Just to twist the knife a little worse. I want to do right by all of them, and improve
Okay, you're trying to improve
life
the
for
city.
the Niners. Yeah.
Okay. So in your case, you come to like your office, the place that you work. Is it like a private thing, or are you part of a practice with a bunch of social workers? I'm gonna
So I
assume it's
don't know
probably
if you
not.
can hear me, but you've cut out there.
Oh, hello. Everyone else hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Am I back? Xander's, let's see, frozen up for me. Oh, there you go.
Sorry, the last thing I heard was in your case, and then it
Okay.
froze.
Do you work at a private practice? Are you with a group of people? I'm guessing you're probably not working directly with the government.
Um, I'd imagined. Hmm, yeah, I don't know how things work in the States, like how it's organized. Um, yeah, I don't know if I would be hired. I'd imagined I had been hired by the government, with just doing a lot under the table, like basically everything under the table.
Mhm.
Um, and just writing out the official reports full of lies and whatever.
Yeah. Um,
But maybe learning more about how controlling the government is, maybe they wouldn't want any Niners to have that kind of power to report on other Niners.
Yeah, I think the problem with you if you work with the government right now, especially since you burnt your chip out,
Yeah.
when you come in, there's going to be a scanner just so they kind of
Okay.
keep track of people.
Okay.
Probably a
So,
private or group practice.
all right. Um, hmm. Would there be, charity or organizations,
Hmm.
to provide services for there be Niner specific ones?
Yeah, probably like a there's we can come up with a name if someone wants to, or like Niner specific charity.
Yeah, like just some A-list celebrity, we're their pet cause, and I'm hired by their foundation.
Okay. Yeah. So as you come up to your office, Kelly Porter is sort of already waiting outside. Um, she's uh, she's a vet. She's usually stuff is pretty okay with her. She's come in like once or twice, but it's not unusual to find a lot of them that kind of stay away for a variety of reasons. A lot of people know they can trust you, but you haven't seen her there in a long time. As you kind of come in, she's just nervously sort of looking around, but then she sees you, um, and kind of stands up and is just like, um, "I know you're not open yet, but can we talk?"
Yeah, yeah, come on in. Come on in. I'll pull out. I'm guessing it's not open yet. It's still locked. So yeah, pull out the key, unlock it, usher her in quickly.
Okay. Um, yeah, as she kind of comes in, she's like, "I'm pregnant, and I want to get. I don't want them experimenting on my child or following him. I need help."
Okay. Um, what doctor are you seeing right now?
Uh, Dr. Phillips. I mean, the last one I haven't had to go in a long time. I mean, and by part like the powers she's got are mostly physical. Like she's in incredible shape, and her body has a tendency to kind of heal itself.
I'm sorry, cut out again.
Oh, yeah, she's. I mean, her powers tend to be physical, and like her body's in. She's in incredible shape, and it'll heal as such. She doesn't have to see a doctor often, but she will, of course. Like there's like the mandated checkups. Yeah, she's like Dr. Phillips is usually the one to go see.
Um, could we say like this isn't the first time I'd encountered this?
Yep.
And so I might know which doctors are willing to help out on the sly and which ones, aren't, so to speak. Um,
Yeah, Phillips can be okay with it, but the only problem is everything is set up to essentially make that difficult because when someone comes in, they're scanned, like vitals are taken, there's often blood work, like they're kind of constantly monitoring the vets through the VA as they come in. So
mhm.
one of the problems is like there's things he'll do, but it becomes much harder if someone is trying to hide something like this. Not just because there is sort of a, a see something, say something reward
Mhm.
out there for like this is one of those things where if they go and report someone who is pregnant, who's hiding it, the people get paid. While a lot of people are on the up and up, there are enough other people who will turn someone in for some a payday.
Okay. And are there doctors who will, like just on the side outside the practice, make house calls to check up?
Yeah, it's possible to get some. It's often difficult to kind of work things in the schedule because there's a lot of surveillance in general.
Yeah. Okay. So then character C is like, okay. Um, Dr. Phillips, he can be a trick. He's good for the first few months, but you are going to have to stop seeing him. I'm going to pull some strings. I'm going to find someone who can make house calls once you get later on. Now, um, when was your last check-in to get more 10?
Last check-in for 10, I went last week for it.
Okay.
I've got a month's supply. Well, I've got
Okay.
3 weeks supply.
Okay. So I'm glad you came to me. We can definitely keep you supplied. You don't need to worry about that. But you're going to need to be careful here. Sorry, just double checking. Is it just like the passive microchip scanners that could detect the pregnancy, or is it just like the more invasive doctor ones?
The more invasive doctor ones, like
Okay.
the microchip scanners, just kind of let you like they come up if you're within range of it. They can say, okay, here are the vets who are in this area.
Yeah. Now, as you know, here. I'm sorry. Do you want tea, coffee, or tea?
Oh, yeah. Is that okay for? I know alcohol, but I've heard coffee is not good.
Yeah, yeah. I shouldn't have offered it.
I'm sorry. No, it's fine. I mean, honestly, with my body, it's probably going to be fine.
Yeah, I've some. I'll make you some decaf tea. Yeah. So, what's your biggest concerns? What are you worried about?
I've heard kids have been taken. I've heard there's tons of like there are tons of rumors. You don't know how much of it's true, but at the very least, the kids of vets are kept under surveillance and looked at a lot. There are people who have moved because of it, and there's rumors that some of them may have been disappeared. Nobody quite knows. Yeah, her whole thing is she's like, I don't know what would happen to me or the kid, or the government's gonna experiment on them, try to figure out if what they did to us also goes to them. I don't know. I'm right
Okay.
now. I'm afraid of everything.
Sorry, just again out of character class.
Yeah.
This seems very much like someone who's come to me for resources, not someone who's come to me for or come to Susan for option counseling. Is that correct?
Option counseling.
Like,
She'd definitely be up for option counseling, but the resources is an important thing.
I mean, she's already made up her mind.
Oh yeah, I mean, one way or another,
Yeah,
she's going to try something.
yeah. Okay. All right. So, I didn't write down her name. You said it was Karen, sorry?
It is Kelly Porter.
Or Kelly, thank you. I'll make a note of that properly now. Um, well, Kelly, you know, they say every pregnancy is the first. Feels like the first one in history, but you're not the first Niner to have a kid under the government radar. You will be breaking some ground. It's but I'm here for you 100% on this. Um, there will have to be some lifestyle changes and some choices that you're going to have to make. Um, it's hard to keep a kid secret forever. If you want your kid to have anything approximating a normal life, that means that we're going to have to get you and him, and I don't know if there's a partner involved, but we may need to get you all fake papers and get you out of here.
Yeah, no, it's spontaneous. It's a miracle. Yes, there's a
Well,
partner involved.
I didn't know if
It's
you were
just-
still going to be involved in the upbringing.
Susan, you think anybody I'm with would want to leave this? She kind of laughs a little bit, like she's clearly scared, but
Yeah.
dealing with it that way. Yeah, he's with us.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a lot of work, but I said you're not the first person to go through this, and you won't be the last, and I'm with you every step of the way.
Go ahead and make a watch for trouble is going to kind of let us know how things go for her.
Okay.
Add 1 complication and 1 advantage die. Because you've dealt with this up before, but it's always tricky getting someone out.
That's advantage pool 1, challenge pool 1. Okay, that's a 16 with a complication and a challenge, so.
So yeah, throw those whole thing out. So yeah, so you are able to get that taken care of. Yeah, so you kind of call the people, get that ready. So also take an XP. So yeah, I think you should have 1 from last issue, and now 1 for this, 1 for the
Okay.
scene. And Mike, you said that Celeste, some of the things that bothers her is like what happened during the war. Like, what were some of the things that she did that really kind of still she deals with?
Yeah, I definitely want that to be in the background, but as I've been thinking about it and seeing how other people have portrayed their turmoils, I wonder if I may change that. I feel like that's definitely something that's still in the background, but I feel like that might be something in the background for almost all of us, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe. But something that came up, something I only noticed after the fact with last week's session is the fact that Celeste basically kind of implicated herself into this burgeoning 10 underground distribution scheme. Yet when I defined her character, I believe confidence and honesty were the 2 traits I picked for this character, because I always saw her as being like an upstanding member of the community in what is very much an irregular community in many ways. So I wonder, and I think the fact that I didn't play that up at all in my interactions with Gamma Squad, plus I think something that would weigh heavily on Celeste's mind were the trepidations that that Erez's character, Pluribus Unum, had expressed to working with, a bunch of bank thieves. So I think her turmoil right now might be more focused, at least for the near future, on how she continues trying to be an upstanding member of the community and like a would-be pillar of the community, while starting to get involved in all of these like kind of shady or at least quasi-legal I guess you could call it, it's quasi-legal operation. And also she'd also be troubled by how her encounter with Howl, the local shakedown professional, the local protection racket. What if he gets a sniff of this and wants in? So I think that's what's her turmoil right now. And if you want, I can still answer the question of what she did that troubles her. To address that question, I suspect that, and actually just finished reading this book, What Have We Done, which is about the moral injury of our longest wars. And it's a very good book. It's a very enlightening book. Just talking about how what was originally interpreted as like signs of post-traumatic stress disorder are actually a whole different phenomenon, basically about the guilt and uneasy feelings a lot of veterans come back with after service abroad, where they're raised believing in killing is bad, and yet they find themselves in positions where they have to do things that really trouble their conscience. And I think that is what Celeste came back with as well. Perhaps she found herself getting in maybe in firefights with enemy forces that were, for example, deploying like teenage soldiers or even younger soldiers. And I think that conflict is something that would definitely weigh heavily on her conscience. So if you wanted to focus with the original Turmoil, that would be kind of the orientation of that.
I think the other one actually also, that just the idea that you're now getting involved in stuff that's not your, like you're an honest, upright person. Suddenly you find yourself more involved with the sort of underground stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just think of how recent events have affected, would affect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll go. That's something a little more easily actionable in some respects. What are other things that you do that are not? I mean, we've got the stuff at the restaurant, but what are other places that you're sort of out and about among other people in the community? Like places you go, things you do.
I would envision her probably being active in the church.
Okay.
Small business association, that sort of thing. Your typical mom and pop type stuff, as it were. Although I haven't actually established if there's a pop or kids involved. I would say no, just out of default. But yeah, just your typical community stuff things.
Okay.
Like that.
So you're at the church one day, normal sort of. It's one of those sort of gatherings where there's been some committees talking about stuff, and it's also prayer requests and other things, and people are and chatting. Charlie Stinson kind of sidles up next to you. Charlie is not a vet, but lives in the Niners. Someone who kind of knows like a little bit of everything. People just tell him a lot, or he finds out a lot. No one's entirely like they don't think he goes to like the police or the patents with anything, but there's definitely he likes to dig. So as he's coming up, he's kind of putting like some food on a plate like near you, and he just looks and goes, "Celeste has business."
Oh, it's going great as always. Deliciously well, I would say. How are you doing, Charlie?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm keeping busy. I mean, you know how it is. You know how things go. So yeah, I had I hear things. People say stuff. I just had a quick question for you. You know that that Spyne kid?
The Antlers kid?
Yeah. Is he part of like? I know you got
Dear
like
Boy. What? I thought his name was Dear Boy, but that's all right. Anyway.
Dear Boy. Oh yeah, I like that, Dear Boy. I'm just, I heard some stuff. I know some people. I just didn't know if you knew him because like you were at that thing with Gamma Squad, right?
Well, we tried to apprehend him, yeah, and yeah, I guess he crossed their paths too earlier. He stumbled on them somehow.
Yeah, practically the same time. I mean, from what I've been told, I didn't know if you two were affiliated or like, just like a weird thing. He would show up but not be with you guys.
Well, it is a small neighborhood, and especially for people with our background, with powers just as ourselves, with veterans just as ourselves. He's not a vet, right? You said I know he wasn't powered, but he's not a vet either, right? Either way.
Fine. Oh no, Charlie's not.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a small world.
Go ahead and make a roll to convince someone. Let's just straight up roll on this one.
Okay, so 1 advantage or 0 advantage?
0 advantage.
Okay, and the official word is that we don't have any official affiliation with Spyne, right? I am remembering that correctly. Is that correct?
Yeah, Spyne, were you part of the support group or?
Oh, I think you are. You've attended the support group.
I thought I was part of the support group,
okay.
and I was a vet. I just got a really, really early discharge.
Okay, but you're not part. Are you officially part of the? I guess our local guardian group thing.
I'm not sure. I sort of assumed that I was, but I could do it either way.
Oh, okay. I could do it either way too. I just wanted to make sure I was getting my story straight.
Could be kind of fun if you're the one that just keeps showing up.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm not. Right. I think I'm not a founding member, but I show up a fair amount. fair amount of the time because I actually am trying to be helpful.
Okay. I mean, he has undergone, he's young, but he has undergone the treatment. So our support group over at the Good is we've got an open door policy. So even though he's young, and I don't think he's actually served abroad, but he's gone through the process. So that um that he does, so that he is welcome at the support group, and I'm rolling now to see what happens. Oh, okay. Well, I think I think I succeeded. I've generated a 16.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. There's a point you just kind of, yeah, people kind of hang around. You know what it's like. Pretty sure that he's less suspicious, or at least he at least lets it drop.
Mhm.
But it does let you know people have been kind of talking, asking questions.
Mhm.
So at this point, everyone has, and also give yourself an XP.
Hooray.
And right now, everyone has got you also get a continuity token. Continuity token basically lets you do like a retcon or a flashback. You can add information to something. You can change some things. It's allowing you to put in like, oh, this is what's happened in the past that we're now able to bring in. You can get more information that could be used. Like, oh, because I know this person thing from issue blah blah or whatever. We now know that they've got like a weakness that you're able to exploit, or a previous relationship or something along those lines. You can also use it to sort of alter and change some things by using the retcon. More of that stuff is more specifically in the cheat sheet that's on there. I don't know why I was going through the book when I had the cheat sheet for that. Yes, like new fact about the setting, character, villain, team, or enemy group. True in a long-term sense. We usually give some edge in a fight or help out of a tough situation. Those are retcons. Back issues, flashback to other stuff so you get more information. Can give you advantage dice, add challenge dice to the enemy. Additional weaknesses, you learn specifics about what the person can do. You can get hero points out of it. Takes away damage or stuff like that. There's a number of things that you can actually do with it.
Yeah, can we take a bathroom break?
Yep, not a bad idea.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't waiting for me. I'm here. Just give me a shout when you're ready to start again, eh?
I'm here. So- Yeah, I don't know why my video isn't showing up. That's just. I mean, let me.
Being a pain in the butt. Technology is the word. Oh, let me do that. Okay. So, first thing, with this one, I'm going to move y'all to the info page. We're going to come up with a couple things for our bad neighborhood. Because something is about to take place in the bad neighborhood. And let me move this back to app layer. So, sitting there right next to the pariahs is the bad neighborhood. This is going to be one that's kind of close to the ghetto and such you're at. If we want to come up with a name for it, we can. But then also what the neighborhood's history was, what the primary source of crime in the neighborhood, and how do the authorities treat it, as well as any other truths that we want to add to it. So this one, was it once prosperous but fallen from grace? Is it an immigrant neighborhood? Is it industrial collapse? Running from the inside? We're doing a lot in the Pariah Ghetto, so we can kind of assume it's near it.
So this is a neighborhood within the Niner district?
Probably just outside is what I was thinking.
Oh, okay. Separate one. I got you.
Yeah. Otherwise, some of our stuff is already kind of answered for us.
Right.
If you see, so do we want to come up with a name for the bad neighborhood?
Let's see. Given that this is San Francisco, oh yeah, the name. Nothing comes to mind yet for a name. I would say, given that this is San Francisco, I think anything but Pariah Ghetto or industrial collapse would make sense. I don't know how industrial San Francisco is typically. I wouldn't imagine it'll be very. At least in the real world. I mean, in our San Fran, who knows?
I can't get my camera to turn on, so I'm going to try leaving Zoom and reconnecting.
Okay.
But we're living in a United States that apparently has undergone a whole lot of like military intervention abroad since we exist.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think of industrial.
Sorry, Xander, you seem to be frozen up. Your feet, or at least your feet seems to be frozen up. I think I heard him mentioning something about industrial. Oh, yes.
I'm back. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just wondering about industrial collapse, and the fact that we're no longer in service suggests that either we're doing less intervention abroad or just not in a superpowered capacity. So could this neighborhood have been for non-powered people somehow intrinsically involved in the powered military industrial complex?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Basically, when we stopped being used, their jobs all disappeared, and they probably blame us more than the government.
Actually, and the weird thing about that, so like the place I teach at is The Air Force base I spent part of my childhood on because I was an Army or military brat, Air Force brat, is in that city. And when the Air Force, when the base shut down, it became this lot of like low income housing. So yeah, if you had that part of it that used to be a part of that, and then some of that stuff shut down, that sounds cool. And go with that, like, the industrial collapse being the fact that are they still giving superpowers to vets, or is that it stopped? Or it could be just they stopped doing it
You're
here.
frozen again
And
for me.
oh, it could be they just stopped doing it here, and maybe it went elsewhere, or have they stopped altogether?
Yeah, my guess, my inclination would be that yeah, it's possible that once the problems or the complications of the process started becoming well known, that might have forced the government to stop creating more powered veterans. Certainly, I can't imagine the government just stopping. Unfortunately, it's a invasion abroad, but I think it might be more a matter of when the deleterious side effects started becoming known, that might have moved the public enough to force the government's hands. So that
Okay,
perhaps that's the cause of the collapse.
it can work. They have like people. You want to go with that? That people didn't like were because of the side effects. They're either doing it less, or they've stopped, or they just moved it to elsewhere. Maybe not as public.
Yeah.
Xander, you said
Sounds
something.
good to me.
What did you say, Xander?
I said that sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we've got that. Is essentially where it's coming from. What is the primary source of crime? Superpowered crime, organized crime, gang violence, or other?
My inclination would say gang violence. I think the superpowered criminals will stick to the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
if that
agree.
were, if they were flooding over, I imagine the government would just like swarmed into the Niners district. And if it's a collapsed neighborhood, as it were, I don't see organized crime investing in the area as much. Does gang violence sound good to everyone?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. And then that leaves us with the last one, which is how did the city's authorities treat the neighborhood?
Avoidance is interesting to me, just because it's such a counterpoint or foil to how the police treat the Niners.
Sure.
They just drive through it to deal with all of you and ignore
Yeah.
what's outside.
Yeah. In fact, if the neighborhood's right next to it, is it right next to the Niner district or?
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, Stephen. I think what was that?
Sorry, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. I was that Xander then? I thought you might have been starting to say.
I don't think I started to say it, but I was thinking it'd be, in a not haha funny, but ironic funny if,
Yeah.
Right.
the police, felt, these poor kids who lost their financial future because of the government collapse,
Yeah, so you want to go with avoidance there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the fact
Okay.
that you are over surveilled, but they right outside of it, they might drive through it, but they're not paying attention because they've got the Niner ghetto to worry about.
Right. Well, like this, there are special cops for the Niner ghetto,
Mm-hmm.
but the regular cops, they don't even want to go close to the Niners.
Yeah. Oh, so, okay. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, basically, it's like special cops for the Niners. Regular ones, stay away. Sweet. We're gonna come up with a name for the neighborhood. Want me to randomly generate a neighborhood name?
Nothing clever comes to mind, so I'm good for random.
I love me some name generators. Real estate subdivision name generator. This sounds fun. Reindeer Valley, Quiet Sands, Whistling Knoll, Royal Park.
That's the one.
I
The last
like
one.
like Royal Park sounds good.
The rest don't sound out of place. Better say it, Fran.
Or is it Park Royale?
Park Royale?
I could go either. I could do either.
What if it's Park Royale, but there's a lot of people who call it like some people call it Park Royale, but other ones were like it's Royal Park.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So on this one, I'll just do this real quick too. I'm going to move you to the map page again. Take a quick look there. So as things are going kind of their standard, how did that end up underneath? Things keep moving on this page. There we go. So if you look, there's the outline part of the Niner Ghetto. First, real quick, where do you want to have, if you just want to like let me know where you want your restaurant to be? Now imagine that all the stuff in the Niner Ghetto has been changed from this kind of sparse Air Force base into housing, with warehouses and such kind of along the dock end of it.
Oh, okay. I just zoomed into the proper map.
Yeah, so the one up above has got the Niner Ghetto put in there, and I might Photoshop in some other stuff.
Oh, neat. Yeah. Let's see. Where would Atagood be? Let's see how far I can zoom. I think this is as far as I can zoom in. Let's call it right above the S in warehouse.
Right about there?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
call it that.
So let me put that in. No, actually, fairly like yeah, you'll actually be in a place where you are.
Oh, you know what? I think I changed my mind. I just noticed the dock area. Oh yeah. Let's make it. Let's see. I don't know how I could. Can I drop markers, or is that strictly a you function?
If you just want to, because I'm going to be adding stuff to a Google Earth thing. So if you just want to like click on it so that you get the blip.
Oh, I'm clicking, but I'm not. Nothing.
Oh, just hold long.
Oh, okay. There.
Oh, whoops, sorry. I
it?
accidentally just went to do it again.
Oh,
gotcha. Okay, cool.
did that work?
Yep. So I can see.
I see it.
Okay, so you basically want to have it so that you are. You want to be sort of into that little subdivision thing, or just like on the mainland, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that I'd be close to like those sweet looking docks. I'm sure they're not nearly as fancy in this world.
Okay, so kind of in that place where it circles around.
I guess sure.
Okay. So yeah, there's a good little place there. I'll put that in another thing. So one thing you let me know is how you end up noticing the fire that you're about to see at first. So there's an apartment fire. This is in the Park Royale. Right outside of it, and again, you know that there's a lot of troubles in there. There's a fairly strict difference between where the sort of the Niner Ghetto starts and everything else is. But Park Royale, you know for its problems, but there is a building on fire. Let me know where are you at when you see this?
Could we see the smoke from Atagood?
Mhm.
Like it looks to be only a few blocks away.
And you don't all have to be together for it, but you could be if you want.
Is it possible we're kind of like trying to discuss what we're going to do with all the 10? Because yeah, that's kind of a big thing we need to sort out.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, that sound good for you?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just seeing, it looks like the apartment fire is right next to a park. And maybe if we're discussing that, we don't want to meet in a place, how
Oh,
paranoid are we? Are we worried about Atagood being bugged?
oh, you know what?
Uh,
We're very paranoid because I'm worried about Hal, if nothing else. So you're right. Maybe we do meet. Were you going to suggest the park?
Yep, the park right on Main Street, right across from the apartment fire.
Yeah, sounds like a really smart call.
Yeah, so yeah, you actually are there. Yeah, let's give you a little bit of time before you kind of notice the flames starting. Um, what are you talking about? I mean, you get together. You're speaking about the rest of it, about the what to do with the 10 that you've got. The others are not able to make it right now, but you've got enough of the group that you can kind of discuss it.
Yeah, I have to wonder. Well, yeah. So I hesitate to run it out of the restaurant just because everyone knows about. I've told everyone about Hal at this point and how he's conducting his shakedowns at the restaurant. So I definitely don't want him to find out about this, because if he decides to muscle in, I mean, that could really get us in a lot of trouble.
Okay, so yeah, we're just standing, trying to look inconspicuous in the park, having a conversation.
Mhm.
I think Susan's standpoint is going to be, well, we don't have an unlimited supply. Like, we have a lot, but this isn't a lifetime solution for anyone.
I got you.
So I think it needs to go to the people who have short-term needs, who just need to kind of slip government surveillance for a little while.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I mean, when somebody goes off for 10 for a while, I mean, when they go back to the government for more 10, I mean, the government knows they haven't been coming in, so won't they get in trouble then?
Yes, but the government can only make assumptions, and they don't actually know anything. So the government might know that something's up, but they didn't actually, commit any crimes. They didn't actually have, the government doesn't have anything solid on them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the best we can do.
Hmm. They could always just say they tried to kick and weren't able to. I mean,
Yeah,
that happens a lot, right?
yeah. Well, actually, not nearly as much as you'd think, because
Mm.
a lot of people say, just report that. They are. Yeah.
And about this time, while you're discussing it, you hear the first screams. Oh my God, what's happening? You look across the park, and there's like a series of these like dilapidated row houses. One of which is one of which you see flames kind of coming out of one of the windows, and it's starting to spread kind of via the roof. And you know that getting fire departments to this area, better than the police, but not great.
Right.
So
And I think I'm in like a trench coat and sunglasses with my costume on underneath because I'm trying to be inconspicuous. And like I'll jam the sunglasses into the pocket of the trench coat and take it off and hide it under the bench where we're sitting.
Mhm.
And we gotta go help. And I'll fly over there.
Sure. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Here's where I find out if I can. Alexander?
just a quick question. Where are microchips implanted normally?
Probably fairly deep. It might be like fairly deep in the sternum.
Okay.
Might be my or yeah, it's probably the safest place to have them like deep but not able to easily be gotten to.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. So yeah, no, Susan will definitely be like, yeah, let's get over there.
Okay. First, well, you want to decide for this issue which team role you want to take. Those are you'll see them kind of up above the individual cards. Support, booster, leader, tactician, artillery, controller, or tank.
Sorry, I'm not quite sure how to switch to the other view.
Oh,
Follow the
I'm
flag.
sorry. I moved over to prepare some stuff. Forgot that I had moved you too.
Um, so, as I mentioned last time, I only get 2 hero points, so I'm happy to just grab what's left over in case some of the people with more hero points, have a preference and will actually get more out of the roll.
All right. Well, I'll take booster.
And I'll take tank.
Okay. And Xander, what do you want to go with?
Xander, you froze for a second there.
I got it just as you said something.
Tactician.
Cool. All right. So there is a moment while you are going through where you can see. Here. Ability. Okay, so you've got some fire spreading on the roof. You've also got the fire. There's the fire seems to be in two places, which kind of tells you this is definitely not a natural fire. There is a fire on the bottom on the ground floor that seems to be blocking people who might be otherwise trying to flee. And up top on the fourth floor, where the fire there seems to have spread a bit further. You do see at one point that there's someone comes and smashes out a window, and you notice that they are wearing a mask to hide their face. You don't get a very good look at it. It's the kind of things that, again, you don't see. You do see with vets. Some of you have probably used them. I mean, definitely. Tranquility has used probably some along those lines in the past to not be able to be seen.
Mhm.
But you got the fire spreading. You've got people trapped, and it kind of looks like the whole thing is set up so that you're actually going to have some different, like the whole building might be in some danger of collapsing. Things do not look particularly great. So we begin with Spyne. I don't think anybody has anything that lets them move
I
where they're
do.
at. Oh yeah,
I do not start the scene
true.
in the initiative round, and any time after the first, I can insert myself into the initiative round.
All right, so just let me know when you want to insert yourself. So yeah, so the first
Okay.
person goes, and then you can kind of decide where you want to go.
So anytime after.
Yep.
I
Cool.
think, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we start with Spyne, and then we will move from there. You've got the fire going. You said you were flying up towards it. What do you want to do? We've got someone in one of the upper floors. You've got other people trapped. You've got the fire spreading. You also got a building that's in some pretty bad shape.
Well, it seems like the priority has to be the top priority right now is the civilians in danger on the ground floor, the ones who are having trouble getting out of the building. So I'm going to try to open up some additional access. access. What is the is what is the obstacle that's blocking their exit?
You've got fire. Like there's the fire like up here up at top, which it looks like that's where it started because that one is fuller. But at the bottom, it looks like in that bottom main stairwell and right on the front of the building, fire has been put there. It's not spread as much, but it's in a place that's certainly not on accident.
Right. So, are the sprinklers activated?
You don't have sprinklers on places like this.
Okay.
At least not enough to make much of a difference.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how to use my powers effectively. I mean, I think I'm just going to use my powers of my power of flight to go through the flames and to help people out.
Okay. Go ahead, make a roll. And you're basically just like going like through windows and stuff to help grab people, or
Right.
okay. Take when you make a roll, go ahead and add one advantage and one disadvantage die. Those will cancel out. So the first apartment. So what I've done is, so with these ones, these are critical complications. Critical complications will also advance themselves. The one that's not a critical complication is the fire spreading to the buildings. If you do take care of that, it will give you like a bonus at the end. But the critical complication, which is the building possibly collapsing and the people inside, those will move on their own. As basically like as things get bad, you're trying to get at least more than half of the ones on those usually, and like extra like boons if you've got those without complication can be used to advance it more than once. You guys are kind of going through the first one. There are some people that were like kind of in the apartment like right next to the main foyer where they would be coming out where like the doors and such is aflame, and you've got like 3 kids and the parents that they've gone back into the bathroom. And you can kind of hear some kids like crying from there. So what do you do as you fly in?
Right. Yeah. I'm flying and I'm smashing through doors. I'm making as clear a path as I can, and I'm prioritizing kids. I'm grabbing kids. I'm telling the parents follow me, hurry, and I'm using my electrical powers to create a light display so that people can see through the smoke. They can see their way to the exits.
I wish you had a power that's like, please follow the lighted flooring. Please follow. Yeah, so
I have telepathy, so yes, I can do that.
Thank you for flying Air Support Group. You had many choices you could make. Yeah, there's the thing that they kind of go back like almost afraid it's the fire, and they just sort of looking at you like flying there. It's like, it's just like, oh, thank you Jesus, thank you Jesus. They start running out as you let the thing go. Like you hear screams from some of the other apartments. Next, let me know Tranquility when you want to pop in. If you want to pop in before building integrity.
Okay, that's what that is. That's building integrity.
Yep.
I don't see a way I can help about building integrity, so yeah, proceed, please.
Okay, so there's like a parts of it like there's just a. This is one that you see inside of its spine. It's just there's just a bit of a thing starts to collapse a little bit. It's looking kind of bad. So at this point, like if the building integrity gets too high, essentially you have the building collapsing and doing bad things to the people who are still inside. But it also means if you fail when you try, there's a certain amount of complication dice to go with it that can do some more damage to the people inside of it. And then we are at Halopoint, unless
Nope.
Okay, Halopoint.
Okay, so what are the rules in spectaculars for power stunting? If any.
Oh, so the power stunts on the specific ones that are on your thing, or just like using your powers in creative ways?
Creative ways.
Then it just becomes part of the role. You may get complications, you may get advantages depending on how you do it.
Would it be possible for Halopoint to extend her power field to try to prop up the building, especially given that I've taken the tank role, which lets me spend hero points to reduce damage for anything that's like for any character that's up close to me.
Okay.
Could that be extended to include the actual building?
Yeah, and that's your energy control or energy manipulation?
It'll be, I guess it'll be a combination of super toughness and power reservoir, given that this isn't normally this power only affects myself.
Cool. Yeah, so you can kind of just like inside of your basically like just started taking the whole thing.
Like basically trying to extend my power field into the building structure, just around the building structure as well.
Yeah, and I'll spend a hero point to give. Oh wait, sorry, the booster lets you re-roll, so I'll wait until after you roll.
Wait until I fail.
Okay. Yeah. So now that sounds cool. Have you done this before?
I'm gonna say no. I've never. In service, I was usually wrecking the buildings instead of trying to prop them.
So I like this idea of like, I don't know if this is gonna work.
Right.
And you just kind of put it out there and just are holding it kind of around the building. When you go ahead and roll, add 2 advantage and 1 disadvantage die.
Okay. And should I go ahead and place the timer tokens on power reservoir?
No. The only time you have to put the timer tokens on there is when you use the specific one that's on there.
Oh, okay.
Power stunt that's creative use of your powers ends up often being advantage dice, or if it would make it more difficult, disadvantage dice. The time tokens are only there if you're using the specific power stunts that are underneath it.
Okay, so that's 2 advantage dice and then 1 challenge pool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what did I get? Okay, well, I might be a Spyne. I rolled a 91. I did get a bonus on the advantage die. If that
will actually give you an extra. If you succeed, what was your percentage?
91.
But what were you rolling against? What's your power?
Well, I guess that would be super toughness. I guess so that's not really a rolling power.
I think it's your energy. But the thing is, it's still that percentage. Because like your super toughness is helping you withstand.
Oh, I see. I guess power is
70.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Steven, you said you can help boost.
Right. Well, I can help him re-roll the advantage or complication dice, but that's not the problem.
Oh.
Now. Even if I did use the reservoir power, that would just barely miss because.
Well, I would. Oh yeah, because with what you're able to do, how many hero points do you have?
2.
Oh yeah, that would leave it 1 underneath.
Can't the
we got
turn into the advantage turn into another +10?
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, you can actually do that.
Thank you for reminding me. So I can go ahead and now maybe I can put the time tokens on the power reservoir to activate that power to add 20 to the number rolled.
Yeah. So you use 1 of your hero points.
Oh, use a hero point. Okay.
Yeah, and then go ahead and roll 1. Just make a roll. The only thing we care about is the 1 complication die you're adding to it.
Okay, so roll again. Just am I just basically should I put in 1 for advantage and then 2 for challenge then?
No, just 0 for advantage, just 1 for challenge.
Oh, I see. It comes up automatically.
Yeah, all we basically, if this is at the table, you would just grab a single challenge die.
And there's the challenge die. Yep.
Okay, so what that is going to do, go ahead and take 10 points of damage.
Okay. First of all, I'm just trying to figure out where my hero points are that I could remove from. Is it?
Oh, you should have them. There's a little thing that has your name on it, Michael M, and then a
yes,
a 1 on there. Because I think you actually should have you've got 2 hero points and then 1 thing for your retcon or
yes, the continuity token.
Yeah, the continuity token.
So how do I spend? Do I
you can just drag it out to the table.
I see.
Might be an easy way to do it. You can hit delete, or you can just leave it out there.
Okay, cool.
All right, but now I can spend a hero point as booster to let him reroll his advantage and complication die. Correct?
And take 10 damage. Where does damage go?
I'll do that.
Yeah. So I think it's probably just the one
Let's do my sheet.
advantage and the one complication die, because he wanted to spend the 1 to make it 10 higher, so he actually could succeed on that.
And where should I be recording my damage taken? I forgot how you do it.
Probably character sheets, probably the easiest thing to do, or there's a place that says resistance is your.
Ah, yes, I see. I see where resistance is.
Yeah,
So
it's 100 by default.
okay. So I'll just where I think where oh, here we are. Okay, so say what are these points called again? They're called
Resistance.
Okay.
Yeah, it hurts a bit, but you're just trying to kind of keep it going.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. Tranquility, do you want to go before the people trapped inside?
Okay, so the next two things are the people trapped inside and the fire. Is that what it is?
There's a mysterious figure. There's someone who's up in that top floor.
I think I'm just gonna watch this entire round and go after the mysterious figure.
Okay. So in this case, what happens is there is one, basically a red bar goes with the people trapped inside as things are getting worse, as the fire is starting to spread. The mysterious figure does something you're not aware kind of what it is. So now it'll be they're up there in that thing checking something out. And so now we are Tranquility.
I am going to. So, can I use my elastic body to kind of like stretch up my legs so I can see what's going on up there, and then determine like my rest of my action
Yeah.
based on what
So what are you looking at? Are you
what's going on in the
top?
room that the mysterious figure's in?
Yeah, so as you're kind of like heading over, just whoop, you head up. You see someone again with a mask and such. They're standing over a body, taking a look at it. Like they're kind of looking down. You see blood on them from the person. There seems to be like symbols and such that have been drawn on the floor and the walls around them.
And does he have a weapon of any kind in his hands?
Not that you can see. I said like the rest of it. I mean, the person looks like niner stacked. Like you got
Okay.
regular bodybuilders and stuff, but like niner fit is a different sort of thing. When you see someone who you're sure that's a veteran because the physique is too perfect.
So, sorry, I don't know what kind of like combat time we're working with, but in the system, but like, can I talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd like to just say, probably surprise them as I'm just kind of like casually leaning on the windowsill, 4 stories up. Hey, can you explain what's going? Just like, what's going on? You need to evacuate. I just want to see what how the mysterious figure reacts.
Yeah, just kind of looks, like sees you. You can see that his eyes kind of narrow, and just goes, "You shouldn't have come back."
You shouldn't have come back. I'll say, pass me the body. We need to get the wounded out.
So what you hear is, because of the situation, that'll happen. This is it's essentially a mental attack, what you're
Okay.
doing, and it'll make specific sense with the way he reacts, which will probably depend on what you roll here. So for you, you've got your convince others what with 90%.
Nope. Oh, I guess I could have sized someone up. Like that's basically what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I think I think that'll do it.
Okay.
Um, give yourself because of your. There's a chance they may recognize you by reputation. 2 advantage dice and 1 disadvantage dice.
Okay. And you said this was a mental attack?
It's just a mental attack, and like you can take someone's resistance down mentally, which usually means like you're distracting them or whatever. It doesn't the physical mental.
So I get an additional 2 advantage dice for any kinds of attacks I make the turn I appear.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
you
then,
get 4 advantage, and then
how many challenge did you say? 1?
yeah.
Okay. Oof. I passed if it's at the 50%, but the challenge dice the advantage dice, all 4 came up nothing.
Yeah,
And
and I think you had like your size someone up works there. The 90 could be the
Okay.
total. Yeah, there's the moment that he kind of looks at you, a little confused. Go ahead, like from kind of the fire. There's a little bit kind of comes out. Just take 10 resistance from that for the disadvantage.
Mhm.
But he sort of looks at you and is just like, "Get the people to safety. What the hell are you playing at?" And basically, you just did 41 points of mental damage. That's also a way to bring someone over if they're in a position where to convince someone or anything along those lines, a mental attack, they don't have a difference. Actually, Tranquility, you go first.
Okay. Um. So. Okay, wasn't expecting that. Oh, so that's my card. It just doesn't have my name on it. Okay, cool. Um. So, and you said all kinds of damage kind of stack?
Yeah. So like, if you were to like do a mental attack on someone and then sort of hit them, like the resistance comes down regardless.
Okay. And then what's the thing that's right after us? That's right after me?
So if have you opened up the turn order?
Yeah, I
Like,
have it open.
yeah.
It's just not labeled
Oh,
in my screen.
oh, it says not. Oh, yeah. It should say like Tranquility, people trapped inside, Halopoint.
Halopoint, Mysterious Figure, and Spyne are the only labeled cards for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Let me just do a thing so the other ones show up. But
Same
yeah.
here.
So. Oh, I gotta hit control by maybe so you can see it.
Okay, I see people trapped inside now.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's weird that needs that for to show up. Yeah. So people trapped inside and buildings integrity are all on there now.
Okay. So I think what I'd like to do is reach past him with my incredibly long arms and pull the in the injured person out of the building and kind of offer for him to come, to get a hand down as well, in order to progress the people trapped inside.
Okay.
And
When you roll this time, go ahead and add 3 advantage dice.
okay, and I'm going to use my 3 advantage dice I want. Okay. So advantage pool 3, submit elastic body. Oh, challenge pool 0, right?
Yep.
So 71 with 3 advantages.
Yeah. So there's one when you go up and you pick up and very quickly, oh, this person's dead. But
Okay.
when you kind of reach the hand towards him, there's a moment he just kind of looks at you and goes, "You didn't kill him?"
No. No.
And nods. He kind of nods for a moment, and then like runs sort of towards the window as he kind of grabs it, leaps, falls down, and kicks himself off of the wall to then land in a crouch, like at probably close to your feet,
Okay.
down at the bottom. Okay, so at this point, the people trapped inside are going to, as things are getting a little bit worse, and I'm also going to bring this up from before. This will happen next turn. That there is there's a bit of an explosion. It seems like the gas mains may have been a little too close. Things are looking a little bit rough in this building right now. 2 of 5 have been for the people trapped inside. They've been advanced twice. Halopoint.
Okay, so now we've got a new complication, the exploding fire. I think, or excuse me, the gas explosion. I still need to keep holding this building, right? I mean, will this building fall apart? I'm assuming this building, especially with the explosion.
Yeah, you've done some stuff, but you can you've done some stuff, but you can also you can do more. You're not stuck here the whole time just holding it.
Oh, okay. In that case, I would. I think I want to see if I can do something about that. I wonder if there's anything I could do about the gas. Like if I could just even use my force field to plug up the hole or plug up the leak itself to try to prevent any further explosions or leakage, deadly leakages. I don't know. That's something I could try to suss out with all this chaos going on.
Yeah, and I would say to a large degree that's going to work as basically you trying to help the building's integrity.
Sure.
You said you use what to do it?
Well, I don't know if I have a specific part that does it. I think I'm just, well, would something like analyze data or design something? Like, do I have some amount of architecture, some rudimentary architecture knowledge from starting up a small business? Like, design. Maybe I helped actually design the restaurant instead of just buying a.
Yeah, it could be that, and then also maybe from stuff you've done with Energy Strike and such in your past. That makes some sense.
Sure. So would I be rolling against one of those skills then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a 65. What are my advantage and challenges?
Go ahead and add one disadvantage and two advantages.
Cool. And it looks like I've done it with advantage to boot.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is you'll get basically one success on making it better. So what do you do to help it out? But then there'll be a second one because of your.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is if I could find out where the gas leak is coming from, even just hold it, so that my force field can actually seal the leak or at least prevent any more gas from leaking out, and hopefully not fall unconscious in the process, of course.
Yeah. So at this point, you have now gotten the building's integrity up above 3. So the building itself is, as you kind of stomp it out, the building itself is no longer in danger of collapsing.
Oh, delightful.
But you still do have people trapped inside.
Yes.
We'll say the mysterious figure coming out has been part of his thing, which takes us to Spyne.
Okay, well, I think I've got the people on the ground floor sort of organized, so I'm going up through the building looking for people who are trapped. I think I'm using my flight power
Okay.
to do this.
And 2 advantage and 1 disadvantage.
Yeah, so that's a 58 with 1 advantage.
Okay, so to get people out. People trapped inside. Yeah, you're actually able to, because that'll take it up to 3. You'll actually end up filling that bar, because that's got the 2 from there and 3 for you. So you actually managed to get the people out. kind of create enough holes, and she's like, "Please follow the lighted thing." And as the people themselves are like jumping down those 10 feet, helping being caught by y'all down there. So the point is, like, you've still got the fire going, but at this point, the building is not going to collapse, and it looks like all the residents are actually out. And the guy who's down there with you takes off his mask. He's not one you recognize, but there are plenty that are sort of out and about. He just kind of looks as, "I'm Jerry Craig. Who are you?"
They call me Spyne.
Wait, are you the kid that took the selfie of Timberwolf?
Yeah,
Man. Well, you're clearly not the killers, right?
Susan Cantrell, I'm a social worker.
and we were just we were just talking in the park, and we saw the smoke, and we came over to help.
I'm sorry. I was hoping you were one of them. I've been tracking down. Someone's been killing people, and all those symbols. And he pulls out a cell phone, kind of shows it to you, like the picture of the symbols. I've seen these symbols at 2 other crime scenes. This is the first one where they actually tried to erase what had happened before.
Where were the other murders? Were they both murders?
Yeah, it goes. There's a point you can start to hear sirens in the distance.
Um,
As he kind of looks, he's like, "I don't know if we want to be here when they show up."
um, I don't have a particular want to be near here right now. I'm not in the best position if they try to scan me.
You're not chipped?
It broke.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can go. I'll take the credit. This will be good press.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep a low profile at the moment. But I'll keep you in the loop, Spine. And then I just kind of tap my head, telepathy.
Okay. So, yeah. So and he the what Jerry goes. He's like, "I would rather not be here when the cops show up."
Celeste, did you want to stay here? Or are you coming with us?
If everything's, yeah, it seems like everything's secured here, so I might as well. But what caused the fire in the first place?
Because I'm assuming whoever killed this person did it.
What? There's a murder? I guess
Like-
I guess I get the lowdown on.
Oh, yeah. The body has been like ritualistically sliced up.
I've brought it with me. I don't think there's any reason I would have been like, oh, this person's dead. I'll just drop them when I'd already picked the body up.
Right,
but
if they were trying to destroy the evidence, you want to preserve it.
Preserve, exactly.
yeah, all
Do you
things being equal, I think Celeste would want to clear out too.
I'm sorry. What was the person's name again? The mysterious figure.
Jerry Craig.
Yeah, Jerry Craig.
Jerry Craig. Jerry, do you recognize them? I say, pointing at the body.
No, just someone who's unfortunate enough to live in this area. Basically, the attacks have happened in these 3-4 neighborhoods right around here over the last 2.5 weeks.
More out of habit than anything else. Susan will check for dog tags.
Yeah, there's not on the person.
Okay.
Yeah, so he looks. He's like, as you hear the sirens getting closer, he's like, "I'd like to talk, but maybe not here."
Yeah, agreed. Let's get out of here.
All right. So, Spyne, you're saying to talk to the cops?
Yep.
Sweet. Okay, I'm gonna move you all over here real quick. The police representative. Anybody have a name they want to go with, or just want to go with randomly generated?
Um,
I can come up with a name.
Okay.
How about, let's see, for a last name, let's do DeCastro. First name, Jacob.
So Jacob DeCastro.
Yeah.
So, we get to decide. What are they fundamentally like? You've got one from each of those three under the police rep. Jaded, idealistic, desperate, calculating, sarcastic, or feisty. First one.
I feel like jaded.
All right. Jaded, and actually,
So-
there's just three people, three of
Which-
us. We can choose one. A long-suffering, hard-drinking, religious, anger-prone, gluttonous, or a maverick.
hard drinking.
All right, and that was the third, Michael. The detective, police officer, sergeant, chief of police, liaison, or police scientist.
Let's go with detective.
All right. Wait. Why does this person try to help heroes? Frustration, obligation, avoiding corruption, protecting coworkers, or other?
Let's go with frustration.
Okay. Hey, person's frustrated with the ineffectiveness of the police force and dealing with powered villains and aids the heroes in hopes of helping bring criminals to justice. And what type of aid do they provide? Tips, intels, diversion, distraction, prosecutorial immunity?
Um, Tips and intel.
Okay.
I don't know how much he's willing to actually stick his neck out on the line if he's so jaded.
All right.
Mm.
Sounds good. Who has it out for this person? Other police officers, a powerful group, city government, or a particular villain?
I'd say other police officers. If this person's attitude is the police can't deal with powered villains, that might make the other police officers feel like, who's this guy to side with powered freaks over his fellow officers.
Okay. And what does he most fear to lose?
I mean, I feel like it's their career, because it's like there are people who are trying to stop the police from investigating some things too closely.
Okay. That works. So, Spyne, you have got. Was it Jacob? Jacob DeCastro. As the fire engine shows up, an unmarked police car comes along with it. You've seen Jacob kind of around before, as he gets out and is sort of surveying the scene. And I'm assuming you stick out pretty well with your costume and such.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the headdress with me because
Yeah.
I was inconspicuous earlier, but
Yeah, as he's kind of looking around and sees you, goes, "Jesus Christ, kid!" Comes over, kind of takes you by the arm and signing. He's like, "What are you doing here?"
helping. I mean, there were a lot of people trapped in that building. I mean, I was nearby. I saw the smoke. I mean, I'm a concerned citizen. What would you do?
Okay. He kind of looks back at the people and one of the guys that came right through the wall and pulled us out of the fire. It was amazing. He just kind of looks and goes, "Okay, kid, it's great."
Yeah, but you guys, you're the real heroes.
Don't feed me that bullshit. Like, seriously, don't feed me that bullshit. Listen, you are one of the people we're supposed to keep more of an eye on. Because the stuff that happened down at the docks with Gamma Squadron getting away, we've essentially got people higher up eating our asses because we failed to bring them in, and a lot of money went missing. You were a part of it. You were there. You had the picture with Timberwolf. Like, your face and the face of the other people that are there have been going around over and over and over again. Like, every day you show up in my email.
You mean people? I'm getting a name for myself. People are learning who I am.
Kid, oh my god, this is not a good name for you to have.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, but all right.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm. Look, I want to be on good terms with the police. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's Timberwolf is just really cool. You know, he's got that cybernetic dog.
yeah. Listen, kid, did good. Here, you helped. It looks like you helped a lot of people. Got them out, and they're sort of like the fire trucks are coming up, starting to get the ones on the other side.
Oh yeah. By the way, there was this body there. It looks like it was a murder. One of the other supers who was here
Wait.
pulled him out.
What other soup?
I didn't get his name. There were like 4 or 5 of us helping evacuate people from the building. A couple of them already left.
He pulls out a card and hands it to you, and goes, "I'll put you down in the report that you talk to me later. Maybe want to keep other people off of it, depending on who was." But
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to you a little bit later so we can get stuff. So if you, I've got a statement. Anything else with your statement?
Yeah, and I point out the body, which I think the wounds. It's obvious that he was murdered. Right? That right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he just goes, "Okay, kid, you did good." I got like he gets. I don't. Do you give him when he asks to get your information, like phone number and such? Do you give it to him?
Absolutely. I've got that like a business card with me, which
Yeah. There's a point where you hand him the business card. He just like takes a look at it and then goes, "You have a business card."
yeah, I mean, and it's a really cool business card. I got the full color printing with like this Celtic imagery on it, and like this silver lettering that's really hard to read unless you hold it up at exactly the right angle.
And he goes, "Well, I'm sure this checks out with the information we already got on you. Kid, be careful. We'll talk. I want to make sure you guys don't get in more trouble than you need to."
Sure. And I mean, have any reporters shown up yet?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
You head off to meet up with the others?
I mean, I think I sort of hang out in the area for a little while, looking for any reporters give an interview.
All right. So let's cut to probably the park or something, or do you go someplace nearby to speak with Jerry?
Maybe a bit farther away than the park.
Okay. Yeah, so you probably get someplace else. Like there'll be someplace nearby you can kind of go and talk. Jerry's like, "Okay. So far, this is the 3rd victim. Archie Morton is a security guard. Ended up getting killed in his own house. All this other stuff that was done matches up with the other ones. I've got," and he pulls out like a little notepad. "Marcus Rhodes, is a divorced factory worker, killed in the laundry room of his apartment complex." And it kind of shows you some pictures. Same sort of thing that we saw. And Renee Jimenez, a nurse with owed a ton, killed in an alley from like near her home. This is the first time I've seen one of these kills in the apartment, but this just makes 3.
Were any of them Niners?
No, every single one of these is civilian. They're just happen to live close to a place where nobody actually tends to check on the crime. I mean, hell, the place they screwed up. As far as I can tell,
Sorry,
the
you're
police.
cutting out.
Oh, as far as I can tell, the police weren't doing much when they're looking into it. People get killed all the time. It happens, but the biggest mistake they might have made is actually setting a fire, because fire departments do show up eventually. Police here, you know what it's like.
Sorry, you cut out for a second, but I think you're saying they all happen in Park Royale?
In a couple block radius.
Okay. Huh.
So right now, that's. I mean, I don't know what all I'm chasing after, but trying to find whoever it is and stop them.
What I want to know is why the fire this time? Were they interrupted? Did someone see anything?
Well, you mentioned
Why
before
change
that
the pattern?
you mentioned Jerry, you mentioned before that the killer was this time trying to cover the tracks. Could the fire have been how they planned to do it?
I'd imagine. I mean, it seemed to have been set in that room. I haven't been coming. I just popped in probably for the same reason you did. I saw a fire going on. Thought it'd help people. Came in through the roof where it was, but there wasn't. There wasn't a fire in the entrance when I went in. So whoever it was, I must have just missed him.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I generally patrol these areas. Try to keep it safe because nobody else does. Live in a war zone long enough, you get bored just sitting in your apartment. You know how it is.
Yeah, where'd you serve?
He starts listing off in some of the same places and some of the same thing, and he gives like his unit number. This is all it's all stuff that you may have met some people from those before.
Yeah, I'll reciprocate.
Yeah, same.
Shitty places. And we come back to this.
I don't. No, we don't work. We haven't seen him around the Niner, right? Is he? We
Yeah,
don't
I
know him to
mean,
be-
he may be. It's one of those things that I mean, if you ask around, it probably won't be terribly hard to figure out because everybody kind of knows everybody by at least 2 or 3 separations. Like
I
you're
gotcha.
you're a couple degrees away from knowing literally everybody in the Niner because people from the same units all know each other, but then they've got friends in other ones. Like the right person asks the right question to the right person, and then you kind of like, yeah, that guy is here.
Okay. So Jerry, something I can do is I can telepathically send impressions I've had. Can I send you my memories of everyone I saw while we were, all the faces I saw while we were approaching the fire? Let me know if anyone sticks out to you. Maybe you saw them around other crime scenes.
Um, yeah, I guess I never had a head case inside me before, but
Well, if it helps, I'm not going in there. I'm just sending stuff your way.
all right.
And yeah, then I do what I offered.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll with telepathy or anything?
Yeah, roll with telepathy. Give yourself one complication die. 'Cause it's gonna be a little hard to sift through the stuff.
Okay. Okay. Oof, that's a full-blown failure.
All right. What was your?
I got 88 out of a 60
Okay.
and with a complication.
All right. Take 10 points of resistance, and your thing would have gone back up. It'll probably in the next scene it'll be back. So don't worry too much about it. Just and he just goes, ow, 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 ow. Oh my god. Who taught you how to do that?
Yeah, bad people.
Oh my god, Al. Yeah. So that didn't help. I've got the
Okay.
addresses for the other murders, but as far as I know, most of that crime scene stuff is still up there.
Hmm. Don't suppose, I mean, this is your third data point. And I pull out my phone, pull out Google Maps. Might as well see if it makes like a perfect triangle or arrow or something.
Yeah, he goes, well, we'll make a triangle of some sort because there's 3 of them.
Yeah, but if it's perfectly equilateral, that's saying something.
Yeah. As he goes through, they're not like they're all within a couple blocks of each other, but they're not. There's not like a specific thing that shows up. It doesn't have like perfect lines, at least as of yet. But you do have the addresses of the other people.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I was taught how to hunt. I wasn't taught so much how to track someone through, gather information. I mean, I'm not a detective. I usually just kind of go rooftop to rooftop and stop shit going on when I can.
Hmm. Can't say this is my area of expertise either. So at least you've got more of an eye towards neighborhoods than I do. Any thoughts here?
Well, they're all in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I don't know this neighborhood as well. We could pass it by. Wait, do we all have an existing relationship with DeCastro, or is it just Spyne?
You may have heard the name, but I mean, Spyne's the one that's met him here recently.
I got you. We could ask around to see if anyone knows someone who might be able to figure this out. Do any of our other fellow support group members, do any of them have any specific detection training skills?
Probably not specifically.
I know like Unum or Pockets would have have that kind of background. I can't remember. Not our speedster because she's a medical examiner.
What time of day is it?
I'm guessing probably about 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. I'm real sorry about that headache there, Jerry. If you want a second pair of eyes on the crime scene, I'm not opposed to taking a look tonight once get a bit of cover of darkness happening.
Yeah, once people leave. Doesn't sound bad. Cut back. Finally, Spyne. A reporter shows up and is talking to the firefighters, just sort of taking down some notes. Talks to a few of the people. Do you make yourself obvious for her?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go up to her and give her one of my business cards at her. I mean, I helped evacuate a lot of people from the fire. I was and like I'm angling for an interview in some good press.
Yeah. She goes, How did you help them out?
Well, I I flew through the flames. I mean, the building it was full of smoke and fire at the ground floor. I mean, the fire started in 2 different places. So, I mean, I probably was not an accidental fire, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I was flying through.
You
And I was
said two different places. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, there was a fire on the ground floor and there was a fire on the upper floors, and like nothing in between.
And how did you discover this fire?
Oh, I was in the park and I saw the smoke. And naturally, as a public spirited citizen, I did everything I could to help until the firefighters, who are the true heroes, were able to arrive.
Yes. Okay, so you single-handedly saved all these people?
Oh no, there were a bunch of superheroes helping out. I mean, most Niners are very public spirited citizens, and I hope that our spontaneous participation in rescue activities will help dispel the prejudice so many people have against us.
Well, who were the other people that were with you?
I didn't get all of their names, um, but uh,
You
I,
know what they could do, like what their powers were?
oh yeah, I mean one of them, um, Halopoint. She had a kind of a flame using to help hold up the hold up the building, and there were some others that I couldn't see, but there was somebody who was able to stretch, and I mean I don't know. I think there was maybe another flying guy.
Okay, so not the one that could stretch or the flying. Any other information about them? Might we be able to talk to them about what happened as well?
Sorry, I didn't get their names, and they left. I guess they didn't want the public spotlight on them, I guess. So
All right. I'm Emily Campbell at WQZX. I've got your card. Mind if I get a hold of you for some more questions a little bit later?
oh, that would be fantastic. And I've got a gig at Murray's next Wednesday. If you could mention that, it would be great.
All right. Okay, gotta cut that scene. I love the fact that it's like I didn't get their names. Well, Halo Point did this.
Right. Well, I mean, Halo Point, what didn't wasn't so much that they didn't want to be identified. It was mostly Celeste that really didn't want to be identified.
Okay.
So
All right. Do you end up meeting back with the others?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, once I got in my media interview, and like I've taken a bunch of pictures and posted it to social media long, uh, just just helping out. But the firefighters are the real heroes.
So this big just the fire being on the background. Okay. Everyone's able to kind of get back together. Do we want to take like a quick couple minutes, use bathroom and such real quick, and then come back for the last hour?
That'd be appreciated.
Wait, we'll do that.
Okay, I'm gonna try rebooting my computer and see if that gets the the camera back. Yeah, I guess I just needed to reboot. I just don't know what went wrong there. Yeah.
Just want to let you know that I am back and listening, but I'm just going to kind of stretch my legs until we're ready to start.
Final stretch. All right. So you were you going? Did you want to all discuss stuff what you're doing first, or were you going to head straight to someplace that evening?
Well, I don't think I particularly have plans for the evening. I mean, until the evening when I said I'd go and check things out check out the other crime scenes.
Yeah, I don't think I have any particular plans to.
I mean, I show up and I'm like, "Hey guys, I talked to the reporters. That's all taken care of. I got us some good press. So what's the plan?"
Well, you're Susan. You're saying something about wanting to investigate the other murder sites.
Subtly, yes.
Okay.
I offered Jerry to cast my eye over it. And yeah, I mean, this was the middle of the day. I heard Jerry say he's patrolling at night, but this looks like it was a middle of the day murder. You know, it's who kills someone at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Were you going to conduct some kind of telepathic scan or actually check
I
out
can't.
physically?
No, I'm actually going to go physically, and I mean, I have no forensics training. The best I can do is just see if I see anything out of place.
Yeah, I can go with you as well for backup and the second set of eyes.
I guess I can do that too. I mean, I thought you kind of needed to be an expert, but we're just gonna be looking at stuff.
Subtly looking at stuff.
I can be subtle. And I get the trench coat from underneath the park bench where I left it.
Spyne would like to point out that no one has asked him to be subtle yet, so it's not.
That's
his
fair.
fault.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, we're operating at a bit of a roster deficit right now. So yeah, let's go on quietly and see if we can find anything.
You've got the. I mean, there's this building that they're putting the fire out and such. There's also the other two victims, like in their homes or something, or their apartments. So you're waiting for the evening and then going back to this one, or are you hitting one of the other ones?
I think we're waiting for evening, and then yeah, hit one of the other ones.
Okay. There's Marcus Rhodes and Renee Jimenez.
Marcus Rhodes. Okay. Might as well see the first one first.
Okay.
Site. Okay.
So Marcus Rhodes is go that evening. The building in which he lived, he was actually killed in the laundry room. As you go out, there's still you still see some bits of the police tape literally outside the building. You can kind of see as you go around that the laundry room itself has still some of the tape up, but that's been sort of taken down. Like someone's clearly gone in because they had to do their laundry. But it looks like the scene itself is still you see some blood and such from outside of the apartment.
Huh.
Or outside of the apartment complex, like still some stuff on the walls, in some of the shapes. The same thing he showed you on the pictures.
I'd like to read the situation if that's okay.
Mhm.
Any advantage or challenge dice?
I'll put neither on this one.
Okay. So that's a 60
Okay. What's your read
out of
situation? Okay.
80.
Well, the first thing is it's fairly clear this was like a half-assed job. No one's even come to clean it up. Usually a cleanup team will come in. The police might have looked through. The laundry room is going to be like a heavy place of traffic. So at this point, unless they've gone to another building next door or something to do it, which someone having actually kind of cut through, like clearly gone through to do some, means that people aren't. The laundry room itself is, you're going to see the symbols that you saw before, all of which look occultish. They're things that some of you may have seen in horror films. I don't know if any of your characters have. Well, actually, Spyne. You're more into the Celtic stuff. It's not quite Celtic, like Celtic symbols, but like you've seen some that are close enough that, yeah, like, there's a couple things of like what look like some gods and such you may have done some research on in the past. May not remember their names offhand, but it's like a variety of them. And a couple different. There's also a couple different systems of symbols. Like it's not all one thing. Like they don't all go together in the way that like usually a unified culture's symbology fits.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I know enough to say, hey guys, this is all like pop culture bullshit. This is just somebody making stuff up.
So
Oh.
what's it distracting from? I mean,
It
don't
might
make-
not be a distraction. It might just be some crazy guy.
And Xander, from checking out the lights and stuff that come on and off, you're also pretty sure you know which apartment belonged to the person.
which apartment? What? Sorry.
Oh, you're also pretty sure you know which apartment belonged. Just as in seeing like lights coming on and off where you're going. There's one apartment that doesn't seem to have anything going on. The rest of them do, as people are home in the evening. That's most likely was this person's apartment.
Okay. Yeah, I also want to see if I can just get line of sight on any camera that may have, like a storefront camera or anything.
Nothing close around here. That might have been why it's picked. Like you don't see, because cameras that are up have a tendency to get destroyed pretty quickly.
Okay.
You ever seen the opening of The Wire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use my electrical powers to scan for any surveillance devices or anything that we might have missed.
Yeah, nothing in this area. And the thing is probably for the electrical powers. You've probably like reached out a little bit just to see what's in the area. A lot of places, like in the Niner, the Niner's got stuff all over the place. Here, outside of people's regular stuff, it's a wasteland. I mean, you don't have like the little blips that sort of show up all over in the ghetto.
Oh, sorry, I should say that since, they're doing, Susan is planning to do a break and entry, she's, dressed incognito. But yeah,
I saw Steven unmute, so I'm very curious.
No, I was just going to say the Spyne is also dressed very casually.
Oh, I have different antlers.
So,
Stealth
question. So in the Niner district, is like army surplus like this thing that everyone wears or the thing that no one wears? I figure it's got to be one extreme.
That could go either way because I could see it almost being cheaper. Like
Yeah.
it might be something the government does, but it might also be something that nobody wants to deal with anymore. What are all your thoughts on that?
I'm fine either way. I can see either one way making sense.
Yeah,
I
Could
think
be
it's probably a little out of place, but not super out of place.
So maybe not as much of the army surplus in the Niner.
Yeah, I mean, I think people don't want to like be reminded of it.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. So yeah, let's
cool.
go break into this apartment.
Which, to be honest, ain't hard.
Yeah.
Getting in this, as you sort of head into this apartment, this is a sad-looking little place. As you go in, the place itself, there's nothing up on the walls. There is a picture of there's like a frame with this guy who, like, you're assuming is Marcus, um, and two kids, but it's been folded so that his wife, who is next to him, is no longer visible in the frame. It's all been sort of shoved over. A lot of this stuff looks like maybe relatively recently moved in. You've got like a stack of mail on one of the counters. Um, Open up the fridge. There's a little bit of beer in there. You do see as you're looking through. Someone wanted to like take the lead on like rolling for the investigation to see what kind of stuff you find.
So I think I've sized someone up at 90, which I don't know if that applies, but otherwise I've read a situation watch for trouble at 80.
Okay.
Anyone have something else they want to propose?
No, I have sized someone up at 80, but I think so far it sounds like you're the best equipped or best trained person to handle this.
Okay. And which of those roles did you want?
I think size someone actually works pretty well. So you want to tell me what you're doing, and if there's something in particular that like Mike or Steven, if you're looking for some specific things in there, you can let me know too, and I can kind of work that in.
I would like to know what factory Marcus works at.
Okay.
Well, I think that Susan, from having worked with a lot of people in trouble, kind of knows the places to check if someone's hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she probably checks there first, looks for any of the signs that, they've got a double life going on, see if, there's an extra cell phone or any loose floorboards or, something floating in the toilet tank,
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
check out.
before
Sorry.
before expanding out just like a general search, seeing what's in his drawers, what's on his bookshelves, trying to get a sense of who he was.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I was gonna go through his trash and his recycling, looking for concert tickets or anything that might indicate where he spent his time, who he might know, stuff like that.
Okay.
Hey, Spine, don't leave a mess. We need to leave this exactly as we found it.
Yeah. To be honest, while there is some tape and such up, it doesn't look like much has been taken care of here. Go ahead, and because also they're helping out, go ahead and add 3 advantage dice.
Okay. Any challenge?
No.
Oh God.
What's your percentage on that? 80?
97,
No, but what's your percentage on size someone up?
90.
Go ahead
So-
and if you want to spend a hero point and use one of your just do another roll to make just for one challenge die.
Okay. So did I get my hero points back at the start of the session?
Yeah, basically the beginning of every scene you get your hero points back.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime we go into like action scenes or some other stuff.
Okay.
So I'll have to check. I think technically you may not get them back here, but it's more interesting if we have an idea of what you might have found.
All right. So I'll just roll that challenge die then. And yes, I've got a challenge.
All right. Okay. Cool. So as you're heading through, as you're kind of looking over the stuff, like going through the trash. First of all, Spine. The thing that you see, there's a lot of like fast food wrappers and such in there, but all the stuff it's only like when you kind of realize it's only stuff that's open like at 3 o'clock in the morning. and you're actually not seeing a lot of stuff that like things like concert tickets or places you go, or even when you find like um, some receipts and such in there, sort of looking through them, it doesn't look like the guy goes many places. And that will be a little bit of some highlighted on Halopoint as you're Celeste as you're looking through. You're looking through the stuff on the factory. The factory that he works at is about a half mile from here. Like, I mean, it's walkable. Um, but as you're looking through, but it's a bit of a trek. As you're looking through, he got about a year ago. It looks like he got put onto second shift. So he's working until what second shift goes till. Remember what is the actual breakdown of second shift? Till midnight or
Yeah, probably something like that.
2? Yeah, so like he's working till really late. You also do see, or rather, as you're going through, so he got put on there a while back. You also see a couple letters he got back about trying to get his shift changed that got denied. And Susan, as you're going through, a bunch of stuff you notice. You kind of look at like some of the letters and such emails. As you're going through this person, I mean, they've moved in. This hasn't been made a home, which the couple pictures you see of like the family and such. There's a lot more stuff on the walls, other thing. I mean, it looks homey. It's clear that the divorce papers that you find, which about 4 months ago became became official, probably has a decent amount to do with it. Money's apparently been fairly tight because you also do find a collection from about roughly the same time his car was repossessed. So this is a person who's been working second shift and been walking. Because public transportation in this area is not great.
So, do we think this was a victim of opportunity? They're just looking for anyone who wasn't likely to notice if, not likely to have anyone stirring up too much trouble if he disappeared. Well, not disappeared, if he was brutally murdered. Or
without information on the rest of them, I mean, the thing is, it's a good hypothesis.
I'm sorry, I was asking this in character to the other people.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So what do you folks think? Do you think this is just someone who wouldn't be missed too bad, or did he get involved with something?
I'd like to get some information on the other victims before starting hypotheses. I would like to know in particular what shifts Martin and Jimenez worked. I mean, the security guard and nurses are both professions that could have had like a late night or an off-hour shift, such as what Marcus Rhodes had.
Yeah.
And we know he was. I guess he would have been walking back late at night from work. And I just wonder if there may have been similar commutes at similar times and places for the others. That could at least potentially draw a connection between like where they could have been drawn the attention of the killer, of the suspect, of the perp. So I know I would like to find out where Archie Martin was a security guard at and what hours he worked. Same thing with Rita Jimenez. In fact, it's too bad we don't have which one of our teammates was a security guard? Was it Pocket Bullets or Claire Basunum? I'm trying to remember.
Let me check the
Claire Basunum.
Basunum. Okay. I don't know. We'd be at liberty to kind of NPC him and ask him to at least look into that to see if he. I don't know. If they're part of this.
Bullets also, both of them.
Oh, okay.
I think one of those is actually a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Because I think I believe one of those is not actually the same as the other, because they both were in the same first game together, which means it's unlikely. Yeah, Pluribus Unum, definitely security guard. What was it Andrews? The medical examiner? Who was the other one that says security guard? Oh, pocket bullets? Marco.
Yeah, it's definitely Unum who was the security guard, but I don't have a profession listed for pocket bullets. I just
Yeah, because also there's nothing on his actual sheet. He actually put his real name under identity, the character's real name. So yeah, I don't remember offhand what his was, but it's actually not security guard. Let me remove that, so that'll be less confusing.
Anyway, I don't know if we'd be at liberty to ask Pluribus Unum as an NPC, I guess, if he could look into finding out where Archie Martin worked as a security guard.
Yeah, you'd be able to check with him. It would be a different scene on that one. But yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
Do we want to check the second apartment first? The second crime scene?
Yeah, I think we should definitely check all the crime scenes just to find out more about all these people.
Okay.
They're not far.
Next?
Next it was Ray. Was it Ray or Rita?
I have Rita.
Renee.
Oh, Renee. Whoops. Yeah, we can investigate the Jimenez residence.
Okay, I think Xander frees up again.
Looks that way.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, so it sounds like where you want to go to Renee's place?
Yeah.
Okay. Same sort of thing. She was killed a couple blocks away from her home, but her home is only a few blocks away from where Marcus's was. So it's all relatively close, all within the same general neighborhood. Yeah, so as you're coming in, again, a lot of like broken street lamps. It's also not kind of hard to quickly sort of see even from the outside as lights and such are on. We got one apartment with none at all on, because everything else seems to be occupied at the moment.
Okay. And sorry, I'm assuming Marcus Rhodes was killed that night. Was Renee Jimenez as well?
Yeah, the information you got is both of them were killed. That but this was the one that you saw today was the first one that was, if not during the day, was at least fairly early, or at least caught, because the person didn't seem like they were dead all that long.
Okay.
But yeah, these were both killed like about 2 or 3 in the morning.
Okay.
On like a weekday.
All right. So let's break into the apartment or raid the crime scene again.
Okay. Not particularly hard to do. Like when you go up, it was at least at one point it was a security building, but the actual like the door lock and such has been carved out so that the door just opens. Like there's all the stuff for the buzzers. You see Jimenez on the lunchbox on the mailboxes.
Yeah.
When you go up, there is police tape over her door. Go through.
It might be easier to go in a window, at least for Spyne and I think we could probably give Celeste a hand in.
Okay, well, people on third floors don't lock their windows.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I can stretch up there and Spyne can fly.
Yeah, and I checked to see if there are any security cameras.
Yeah, once again, not in this area. I mean, generally in this area, you're pretty safe from it. People will destroy them if they're put up. She's actually got a balcony that probably makes it a little bit easier to get onto. Just like, I never lock mine. I'm on the third floor. Yeah, as you go in, like there's actually immediately you can tell the power has been off for a while because one, it's fairly hot in there, but you're also looking at like the microwave and there's not even a 00 blinking at you.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. But the microwave was blinking at us in
Yeah.
Marcus's place, right?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. He had not set a time on that at all. So the power in this particular apartment has been shut off at some point. What are you each looking into?
Same thing as before. I'm going to be looking through his trash for associates and stuff. I'm going to pay close attention to the food, the wrappers and things, since that was a tip earlier, and I'm going to provide light for people who need it.
Yeah. And I'm going to be yeah, checking the same things with a focus on figuring out when her shift was, where she worked, what family connections she had. Just try to find any overlap between her and Marcus.
Okay.
I don't mean overlap like they both went to the same bowling club, but overlap in terms of, demographic similarities or similar habits.
Okay. And Marcus? Not Marcus. Michael?
Yeah, I think I'd just be looking for the same kind of, just anything that could confirm the same questions I had raised before about, workplaces, shifts, anything that can connect the victims.
Yeah, you're all going to find like some stuff that's kind of relatively similar. On one thing, when like there is a stack of like pink and red mail of like final notices for things sitting on the desk. Like some of them have been opened, and there have been like some notes put as far as like how much money that she might have been able to put towards things, but a lot of them are just unopened and left in some stacks. The refrigerator itself is relatively empty. You've got like a salad that's been there for a long time and it's starting to stink. Um, you've got like a Brita filter, some other stuff like it's all relatively cheap stuff that's there.
Mhm.
Um, but one thing that Spawn's able to see is Charlie, as you're looking through, a lot of the foods, like there's food wrappers and such, a lot of it either from the hospital or you're seeing some of the same fast food stuff at roughly similar times, like not exact, but like she's also going through some of those neighborhoods to stop at a McDonald's or something that's open like 24 hours at 2 or 3 in the morning. Um, looks like relatively often, perhaps on her way back from shifts. Um, some of the stuff, as far as like family and such goes, uh, as you're looking through, she doesn't have like an immediate family. Um, you find like the letters and such you can find from family. I mean, they don't tend to send much of that, but there has been some mail that was forwarded, and a lot of this mail has to do with student loans from a family out of state, somewhere in Ohio, that has come to her. Um, you're not seeing a lot of other correspondences, but I mean, granted, a lot of the stuff you can get like email and such to get more specifics. Uh, but she's like you do see a lot of like uh, there's some bus like a little stack of like bus tokens and such that are like the place this bus token is going to hit is actually going to be. I mean, it's sort of like on the way towards the factory because like buses don't tend to come right through this area, but if you walk closer to there, you can hop a bus that will take you to the hospital that you worked at.
Okay. Hmm.
So these two seem to have roughly similar times gone through the same parts of town, probably 5+ nights a week.
I'm sorry, you've completely.
Up, Xander froze up again.
I've turned off my video to see if that helps
Okay.
at all. Maybe it'll save some bandwidth or something. Um, I actually missed a lot of what you just said, unfortunately, but I think the gist of it was her family was from out of
Oh,
state. She had a lot of debt. She took a mixture of walking and public transit to work.
and in particular, that the place you could get picked up by that public transit is actually not terribly far from the factory that Marcus worked at.
Okay. And okay. Oh, and did you say she was killed about 1 or 2 in the morning?
Yep.
Huh. So I wonder if it's meaningful that that's about 12 hours off from our latest victim.
It was a couple days ago, so it wasn't on the same day, but
Sure, sure.
yeah.
But just if, any kind of ritualism involved, is there significance that it's 1 in the morning or 1 in the afternoon?
Right.
Yeah.
Do we have photos of all of the victims?
Yeah, because you take in like victims of the crime scenes. You're able to see again like some stuff's on car, like they seem to be ritualistically killed. You're seeing the same symbols at sort of each of the places. You saw them in the laundry room. At this point, on the alley that, like as you went by the alley, that's actually been cleaned up partly by rain and such. But the laundry room still had some of that stuff left, and it was still in the apartment that got set on fire.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, maybe we should go to some of these restaurants that they were both frequenting and just see if anybody knew them.
I'm also curious if people at the factory knew Renee. Like, did she stop and chat at all? Hmm. Do you want to see how much of today's murder scene survived the fire?
I mean, I guess we can go there. I mean, the apartment itself was on fire, right?
The whole building, yeah. I mean, that apartment itself and the rest of the building, it would have been pretty badly gutted. You don't know how much without going back to it. Yeah.
Right. Was that apartment actually where the upper part of the fire was set, or was it
Yep.
just? Yeah.
There was that was where more of the fire was taking place because it had spread a lot further. And whenever the person left, they also set a fire down in the foyer so people couldn't easily like run out of their apartments.
Yeah, so we probably won't find anything there. We might as well check it out.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. Both that's unlikely, but probably worth checking out anyways.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close to the scheduled end time too. I remember someone said they didn't want to make sure we didn't run over.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
No problem.
Do you want to check out the other like the final victim?
Yes, Archie Martin.
Okay. So that evening, same sort of thing. I mean, there's the a lot of the stuff is soaked. And I'm assuming you're doing kind of the same type of search you've done before because you've all kind of been looking for similar things. A little harder to find stuff here because of the fire that had been set, but as you're going through, like the security guard, you do find some stuff in like the stubs and stuff they sent home. Like the place that he works is a secure building that is actually kind of on its way. Like it's not directly where the factory is, but it is. To get there, you go the same way, and then you peel off about a block. There's a point about a block or two before the bus terminal that Renee would have used to catch a bus to go to the hospital. Peel off about a block or two before that to then go to the building that he works at. And again, as you're looking through, it's again he also works roughly the same time. You're seeing a couple things like you're seeing food stuff from like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. From some of the trash there, not necessarily as much. Uh, this is someone who lives by themselves. You're not seeing a lot of stuff on the pictures and stuff that are left. You're not seeing a lot of what look like recent photos with family or other things. So
Right.
looks like
So,
relatively similar.
so all we have to worry about is every one in Kings Park who works a night shift and has little money or family connections. That should be a short list.
Well, they also ate at a very specific place, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing about those is late at night. I mean, something you've been aware of going through. Late at night, those places are lit up, and they're often like the only places on those streets that are lit up.
To me, the common point is that their transit, all three of them, their transit routes took them within a block of each other.
Sure.
And, could they have been working all at the same building?
I don't think so. One of them worked at a factory, one of them at a hospital, and one of them at a secure building.
Yeah, definitely same route, same schedule. And have we established that we all know they tend to eat late after their work shifts, but at the same place necessarily? I guess you hinted that there aren't that many places open at that time. So
yeah, at that time, you're definitely seeing some of the same. Like you got like a McDonald's, you've got like probably a Burger King, a couple of those ones. Like it's not like you were all at the same place at 2:13 a.m. It's more just like they're stopping to grab something to eat late at night on their way home.
Yeah, at this point, would a reasonable hypothesis be that that the killer is just picking people off who are, want or move on the move late at night after
With
eating?
not a lot of
Yeah, at this particular shift time, would that be
Yeah.
a reasonable place to continue, or to reasonable hypothesis to work with?
It's an easy time to get people where there's not a lot of other people around.
Mhm.
Because people always leave at slightly different times. It's dark. A lot of people aren't looking out their windows. There's not a lot of people on the streets. But yeah,
But
that makes sense.
with this neighborhood, we don't know if it's just, statistics or a fluke that all of them had no family nearby.
Mhm.
Or actually, I guess we don't know that about Archie, do we?
Well, I don't think Archie exhibited any signs of having a close family.
Yeah, and we don't know if that's just a fluke,
Right.
or did he like find his victims watching this block, and then follow them to make sure that they're good candidates.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I could see that if he was selecting for people who lived alone, that would be fewer people to press for the police to investigate. So that might be the connection. That might not. Yeah, that might be the connection for why they're picked, rather than specifically picking loners just because. So it might have just been an example. It might have just been a function of picking people who would present the least motivation for the police to look into very deeply.
Yeah. Well, it also is two very different methodologies. One is just, spotting and following someone on the spur of the moment. The other is days, if not weeks, of research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, Spyne, you said that the occult signs did not seem authentic.
Yeah, I mean it's all these different traditions and stuff. It's like somebody's trying to write symbols that look cool.
Mm. So you don't think it'll be worth investigating whether there is some occult significance to these people?
Well, I don't think there's any real occult significance, but like if they got this stuff out of a book, we might be able to figure out what book.
Hmm.
Like maybe, I mean, I'm not an expert on role-playing games and stuff. It might be something like that. I hear that some of these role player types pretty crazy.
I heard they're all satanic. That's the truth. I heard it.
I hear they collude online in secret organizations.
To me, this has all the signs of a LARP gone wrong.
We found buffer weapons. It's all of them.
Well, one possibility, I guess, we could do the typical superhero thing and offer ourselves up as decoys, actually like walking. Maybe even, I don't know if we even go so far as to rent a place, just to like walk the commute over however much time it takes to maybe attract someone's attention. Or if we just patrol and just patrol the area this night and watch out for anyone who might be following other people who fit the Vic pattern. Or I'm not sure what else.
If he is just choosing victims of opportunity, that would work. But if he's doing real legwork into who people are, that'd be hard to pull off. And I mean, I want to help with this, but I can't, lose a week's sleep. I have a day job that, is already taking up most of my waking hours.
Yeah, and the business is a full-time job. If only we knew someone who had a flexible schedule, not a real job to speak.
Well, these restaurants they were eating at, they all have security cameras.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Maybe we can get that footage and I don't know, maybe some kind of clue. See if there was somebody following them.
Yeah, maybe that is the next point of investigation.
I think we're probably at a pretty good point for next time, it being specifically about looking in. Now that you got the information, checking along that route to see what you got.
Yep.
And catching the killer.
Sounds good to me.
Cool. I know, Xander, you got to go here pretty quick.
I do, yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, hey, not a problem. Yeah, that sounds good. I think next week right now, and I think Rich should be back with us. And I think we've got one new person, but beyond that, I think is it this group and then Rich?
I'm signed
Double
up.
check.
I think I'm still waitlisted for that one.
Okay.
Let me check. And Saturday, October.
Me, Michael, Richard, Erez, Joshua Horowitz.
Okay. And I'll tell you, when you come in, Xander, I'd be able to I could. This can run with 6, especially since we're getting straight into the. We'll probably skip the turmoil and such at first, so we can kind of get straight into the thing. So, regardless, I can put you on next week.
All right. Thank you.
Cool.
All right. Well, that said, I better run, folks. Thanks for another great game.
All right. Thank you very much.
Have a good week.
And have yourself a good one.